But why is this technology like moving so like developing so quickly? Uh, it's like 1 minute you're seeing ChatGPT one, and then we're already on the fourth version of it. And how is it able to develop at such a speed? I don't remember the internet ever doing this.
It was though, right? Like,
Not
you
at,
remember
it's
the
even
dot
faster
com?
than the internet or faster.
Yeah, but it's like there's a video that I recommend to a lot of people. It's titled "The Single Most Important Video That You Will Ever See." I think that's literally the title of it on YouTube, and it goes
Hmm.
into how the biggest one of the biggest deficiencies of the human brain is its inability to understand compound growth.
Hmm. Hmm.
So with compound growth, initially the progress seems very very slow, and then suddenly, like, what seems like very short period of time, all of the previous growth kind of like compounds itself, and then like you see that familiar hockey stick
Hmm.
growth.
Yeah, yeah.
So AI as a thing was first coined by a group of people who met at Dartmouth University. Okay,
Hmm.
off in this group there was like people like Marvin Minsky, um, a few other people that are alive even today, but like that's the person I remember.
Hmm.
They met in I think the 1960s or something like that, or maybe
Hmm.
even, yeah, I think 1960s. And they got together.
Hmm.
They were like forward-thinking computer scientists, and they
Hmm.
realized the possibility of an artificial intelligence. We did not have
Hmm.
the compute capacity to even build something like that,
Right.
but they envisioned that this could be possible. So that's
Right.
like when artificial intelligence as a term was coined, and it went through few cycles of like ups and downs. So like there was a period of the AI summer where like lots, like when they first came up with the terminology and like they set out what an AI could do, everybody was really interested because like who wouldn't be, right?
Hmm.
And so like a lot of the US government gave them funding, national science grant, like NSF
Hmm.
grants came in to like help them, and that kind of got them the initial funding to develop certain things, develop certain algorithms, develop certain ideas. But then
Hmm.
after that happening for like 10, 15, 20 years, the funding dried up because the promises that they made were not achieved, because it couldn't be, because the computing capacity and everything was not there. So then AI went through an
Hmm.
AI winter. Then again,
Hmm.
after 10, 20 years, it goes through an AI summer. Again, it goes through a winter, right? So it's this
Hmm.
cycle. So what you're seeing as like, why is it growing so suddenly?
Hmm.
People have been working on this for the last 50, 60 years.
Hmm.
And it is now that all of the things that are required for it to succeed have kind of come together.
Hmm. I see.
So, like the compute capacity, the algorithms, the architectures, like all of those things have come together. So the fundamental blocks are now in place to
Hmm.
enable the that upward this thing. So to more directly answer your question, two big things are contributing towards this like massive like change. One, or actually three things. One, compute capacity has blown out. So like we now have access to compute like GPUs and like really fast CPUs that we just never had access to before. These things are
Hmm.
able to do like teraflop calculations, which means a
Hmm.
teraflop is 1 tera, which is 10 power 12 calculations per second, which is insane.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's one. And we're utilizing the full power of that for training these nets. Okay, that's number one.
Hmm.
Number two, the architecture. In 2017, a paper came out from Google uh, that set out the architecture for this thing called a transformer. So we talked about
Okay.
how these modern neural nets are able to figure out what part of a sequence to pay attention to more versus to another which they
Hmm.
should pay less attention to, right? So in some ways this system has been taught how to value certain sequences, like what to pay attention to and what not to. And that came out in this paper. So this paper, it's literally titled "Attention is All You Need." So they implemented a fundamental architecture that is able to figure out by itself what to pay attention to and what not to. And
Mm.
that paper is responsible for all the modern architectures. All of the modern architectures are
Mm.
transformer based architectures. That single paper is what
Mm.
I would say led to the revolution in artificial intelligence. That's number two.
Mm.
Number three, because artificial intelligence is so buzzy right now, everybody's working on it. And when like a
Mm.
large
Yeah.
cross section of humans are working on something, obviously they're going to cross pollinate ideas, right? And like there's going to
Mm.
lead to more things happening.
Yeah.
So all of
Exactly.
these three things coming together has led to like the crazy, crazy growth. But it may look like really, really crazy growth. But if you understand enough about these things and you read through these things with understanding, the central ideas are fairly similar. There aren't like
Mm.
fundamentally groundbreakingly new ideas. It's just interesting combinations of the letters. You know, like we have A to Z,
Right.
like we're just combining them,
Right.
right? So
Right.
nobody's introducing a new letter. The new letter was
Right.
like the introduction of that paper, the transformer paper in 2017.
Yeah.
After that, you're just
Mm.
using those pieces and you're mixing them up in interesting ways, and
Mhm.
like interesting things are coming out. That's
I
where a
see.
lot of these
They're
papers are.
utilizing the raw material, but this is just like the first layer of that, and we yet to see those bigger shifts in the space.
Yeah, yeah.
But with the way it's going, and I think it can come fast.